So Moist Critical goes on an indefinite hiatus. So here's the thing, right? Is like, I don't know if he's taking a break. So this is what he said, right?
Do you believe that somebody can go through hormone therapy? Can they change their gender if they're a child?
I think that's totally fine as long as everyone is consenting, as you agree with.
Effective immediately, Charlie's made the decision to leave both the official podcast and Red Thread. He wants to go on an indefinite hiatus to scale back his time spent on the internet. We obviously wish him the best, for everyone to respect his decision, and for all to know that the show will always be open for him to drop by and talk shop should he wish to return. So the podcast isn't going anywhere, etc. He's only taking a break. Yeah, that's what I said, right? He's still uploading videos and streaming like usual. Yeah. Now, I think that probably he probably left this podcast because like there was that one dude that was on his podcast that said a bunch of crazy shit. Like, I don't really know. I don't watch the podcast. I'm not really sure. But, like, I heard that, yeah, Kaya, something like that. Like, isn't that the name of Hassan's dog? But anyway, yeah, this is another one. And, yeah, the guy from Turkey, I don't really know who it is. That's what I thought. And so this dude apparently caused trouble. And I'm sure Charlie probably just doesn't want to have, like, at this point, right? You have all these people that are mad about, like, that fucking, about that shit he said with Sneako, right? About like the gender assignment surgery. And so then you've got like this other dude that's like saying weird shit on your podcast. At a certain point, man, you just gotta, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right? So that's it. What's the squeaking sound? It's a weird thing from my fucking, from the song. Sorry about that, bro. Like, yeah, that was weird. He made an obscene joke about taking pictures of 8-year-old girls. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, I didn't actually see it. I heard it. I just read the headline. I said, that's weird. And so I just was like, I mean, I didn't really have an opinion of him, right? I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to get involved with like some fucking bullshit. Doc made a tweet. Yeah. Let's see the rest of this. The Sneako thing showed that he needs to take a break. Aspen has apologized. No, I never backtrack. I never do. Like, sometimes I'll change my mind if something new happens, right? But like overall, no, I don't like backtracking at all. But the truth is, like, I don't think Charlie, I don't know what's going on in his head, what's going on with him. I have no idea, right? I don't really talk to him a lot, so I have no idea. But here's really what's going on, right? Is like, people get mad about opinions that anybody is going to have, and I think that anytime that a person is doing well, everybody is out there waiting for an opportunity to make them not do so well. And this happens with me, it happens with him, it happens with anybody. It happens with Ninja, it happens with like, you know, Miz, XQC, Kai, fucking Jinxie. People do that with anybody who's doing well. People want him to do MrBeast. Oop, there's another one, right? Because now there's some criticism of MrBeast that's got some weight to it, right? But before it was like, oh, he's using blind people for content. Like, get the fuck out of here. What kind of a retard says that? And so the problem is that it's the people like doing this, right? And so the only way you can do this, is that if you just go and you can't give a fuck, man. That's why being a streamer sucks mental health wise. Oh, being a streamer is awful for people's mental health, man. It is. It's real bad. Because like you got all kinds of shit going on, like, and I'm not saying this is what's going on with Charlie. Like, as I said, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. But for both the viewer and a streamer, yeah. And so like that's bad. Yeah, probably, yeah. Talking to yourself for hours. Well, it's that here's the way I see it, right? It's that streaming, you put a lot of yourself out there, and like you also have to deal with people that try to read mean, like try to type mean shit to you, people that try to like harm you in one way or another, people that try to do bad shit to you, all this stuff. And so you put all that together, and guess what happens? Well, it's exhausting, especially like you got focus on like, you know, streaming and YouTube, being a content creator. There's like a focus on numbers. Whenever you have quantitative variables that define a human being's self-worth, that's never healthy, right? Whether it's money, viewer count, subscribers, or you know, height. You think about it, right? There's never a case where that's a good thing. And so credit rating, I mean, you just go down the list. So maintaining your quality of work, yeah, exactly. And like, so your views get more scrutiny too, yeah, exactly. So can't imagine having millions watch every move you make. Yeah, I mean, that's just what it is. That's called white people messing with you. Sneako people were harassing Charlie so much he had to end his stream. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily Sneako. I think that like you're just seeing. The truth is like you're seeing a massive backlash against a lot of like LGBT stuff, and I think that the primary backlash isn't against the LG or B. It's against the T. A lot of people are pushing back super hard on trans stuff, especially with kids and especially with like what do you call it, athletes, right? And so this has happened, and the reason why it's happened, I'll tell y'all why it's happened, is because for 5 years, 10 years, you were not able to say a single fucking thing that was not in that direction. And now that you can, everybody is making up for lost time. Because this is the truth is, you actually ask the amount of people that legitimately think about this shit, no, the majority of people do not support it. They do not. And you look at any opinion poll, and that's the fact. And so whenever you make people live with their mind in a cage, that's only going to last for so long. And it doesn't matter if it's a dictatorship, it doesn't matter if it's a mental, like you look at McCarthyism, and then what happened after McCarthyism? Well, you had the 60s with the hippies and everything. And you have things go back and forth, back and forth. So you got to think about like Adolf was a reaction because like in the 1930s and, you know, a bit before then after World War I, Berlin and Germany and everything, like it was like Berlin, bro, like that shit was like that was like one of the most progressive capitals in the whole world. Like they had the first transgender assignment surgery in between World War I and World War II inside of Germany. This was like a crazy, crazy thing. And so again, and the book burnings, right? They said that's whenever the Nazis burned all the fucking books. Now, did they burn the books because of what they said or because they associated them with Jewishness and they didn't like that and they wanted all the books to be written in German instead? There's a bit of history to this. It's a little bit complicated. So both, right? But it was both, right? It was a cultural and also a, it was multiple things at the same time, right? And so, both probably. And so you can see how shit goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you see it now with what Moist Critical said. If he had said that 3 years ago, everybody would have been totally okay with it. Everybody would have been like, you know, there would have been like a bunch of tweets, you know, celebrating it. And now there's a bunch of tweets hating on him for it. Because that's just the way it is. Because people, you gotta understand, like 80% of people, like they just go with the flow, right? Like they just say what's popular. They say what people want to hear. And the 20% or so that don't, you know, basically fight over that market share of the 80% of people that kind of just like are whatever. Okay, who you are, leave the kids out of it. That's what a lot of people say. And the reality is, like, that's what Nick Merckx said, remember? People got really mad at Nick Merckx for that. And y'all, actually, that's actually a great example. Because, like, how many people think that there should be, like, and I'm not asking you guys, but I'm saying, like, how many people do you think in Florida think that there should be, you know, any pride stuff in an elementary school? I bet probably less than 10% of the population there. Maybe 20. Right? Like, this is a super, super low percentage of people think that should none, right? But a lot of people do not think this. And so what happens? Nick goes out and he says something that resonates with the majority of people. Keep this in mind. The majority of people. He has the popular opinion and he gets completely unpersoned. Like, fucking, he loses brand deals. He loses his Call of Duty skin. Like, everybody is shitting on him. And I think everybody saw that. And people were like, this is enough, bro. Like, we have enough of this shit. And I think that's why people support Nick so much now. Like, I see the likes on his tweets, bro. People are out to promote him as much as they can. Yeah, he was right, though. It doesn't matter whether you think he was right or not. The point is that whenever you try to suppress a popular opinion, the only thing you have to do is wait for it to come back and bite you in the ass. That's what happens. About how minorities affect the majority? Oh yeah, there's a lot of examples of that in history, for sure. The right wing supporting bigots is nothing new. Well, what I'm saying is that like the right wing bigots, etc., like that has been nerfed. It's been nerfed because the only reason why people were afraid of being called that is because they were worried about getting banned on social media. But because there's been so much of a cultural shift, that doesn't happen anymore. So nobody gives a shit. You want to call somebody a buzzword, go ahead and do it. Just don't expect them to go and act like don't expect them to act different whenever you say that. I will say for like the moist critical stuff, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. I think the guy just said he's stepping away from doing the podcast. And I actually don't think that's even because of, like, I don't think this is entirely because of the Sneako shit. I think it's also because that one weirdo guy was on the podcast, and there's been a lot of clips of him recently that have gotten traction where he says stuff that's, like, problematic in one way or another. So I think that him trying to move away from the podcast is probably a good idea. Kaya, yeah, right? And so I think that's what's really going on. Probably made a video earlier today, he's 100% staying. Yeah, he's not leaving the internet. He's not quitting the internet. He's just simply he's not doing this podcast anymore. And that's a smart idea. Why are they saying it's from a Sneako debate? Because those are the two things that people probably know the most about. So it's like, you know, causation, like there's two things that happen. People assume it's one cause the other. It's just how people are. He had a terrible take. Trying to reverse it is what's weird, but makes sense why I would take a break. I think the more that you talk about, like, and this is the issue, right, is that, like, for me, I have this happen a lot, because the more that you talk about hot button issues and, like, really intense issues, the higher the probability is that you're going to be, you know, on the wrong side of what most people think, which, again, doesn't make you wrong. Like, just because you say something and most people think that you're wrong, that doesn't make you wrong. However, you say, who cares? It's easy to say who cares when you've never been the target of harassment from like thousands or tens of thousands of people, everybody farming you, fucking hating you, like messaging you, sending your bro's take was wrong. What I'm saying is that even if he doesn't think it was wrong, that's not the point, right? It's not the point. Like, you got to think beyond that. Like, what matters is not the truth. What matters is how the truth is seen. And if people think that you're wrong, then in a lot of cases, you're wrong. So that's it. They said it was hyperbole. Yeah, sure. But anyway, what I'm really trying to get at with this is that it is very exhausting. I know it is for me too. When you go on Twitter and there's like constantly people that are like harassing you, calling you fucking stupid, saying that you're a terrible person, and like all these like really, really crazy things, right? And it's not something that, I think that the more you make content and the more you do stuff, the less it bothers you. But it's also something that takes a long time to become acclimated to, where you're not very like stressed out from it and you're not very bothered from it. Because for me, like, it used to bother me a lot more than it does now. Like, now if something bad happens, I just don't really give a fuck, and it's like I just keep moving on and it doesn't make a difference. So yeah, but I thought you would be immune from now. Well, I mean, it's not that I'm necessarily immune to it or not immune to it. It's just that when I see something like that, I don't necessarily view it as, like, I don't take it as seriously anymore, right? Who cares what he thinks about trans issues that much? As a YouTuber, can't you just ignore it? Exactly. You ever get death threats? Of course people threaten to kill me all the time. Like, this isn't some kind of a surprise. Yeah, if you don't like somebody, you're gonna want to kill them. Like, I mean, really? If there's a million people that don't like you, one of them is gonna say they're gonna kill you, of course. Yeah, it's not a surprise all the time. Yeah. So that's just what happens. And again, everybody is gonna get death threats. That's heartbreaking, you get death threats? No, it's not. Who cares? Like, listen, if somebody's gonna kill you, they're gonna do it, and that's just the way it is. Like, I'm not gonna sit around and worry about this and think about this and get stressed out about it. It's just the way it is. And I like the logic. Yeah. I mean, even except example, Trump get death threats. Everybody gets, anybody who has an opinion or puts themselves out there or is known will get threatened, or people will hate them. You know, that's it. Do I have a gun? No, it doesn't matter. If somebody, you just wait for somebody to turn around, then shoot them in the back of the head. Like, it's not like they're gonna draw down on you like it's a fucking, like a Western. They're just gonna wait for you to walk somewhere and then shoot you randomly. You're not gonna be able to react to that. If somebody wants to kill you, they're gonna do it. Like, that's just that's just the truth, right? It's just the truth. That's the way it is. You can cry about this and get upset about it, but that's how it is. I challenge you. Yeah, this isn't a duel. I'm just gonna wait for that to happen. Anyway, yeah, I think it can be exhausting dealing with that, and you see a lot of, and I think also, like, right now, like, on the internet, people are very cancel hungry. Everybody is looking to cancel somebody new. They're looking to find a new reason to drag somebody down or get mad at somebody. And that stuff can only hurt you if you let it hurt you. Because at the end of the day, if you make content, like, think about the amount of controversies that I've been through and the amount of people that hate me. And it doesn't matter because I just keep making content and I keep making videos. The only way you can lose is if you stop. Because there are going to be people out there that agree with you and they think that you're right. So if you go and you try to, you know, fight this and do all of it, and also you will never agree with people either. Or sorry, you'll never get people to agree with you either. Because even if you think that you're right with every fiber of your being, that doesn't mean that anybody else has to consider that you're right. That's it. What about you talking about Charlie? Are you talking about Charlie said kids should be able to get castrated? I don't care what your opinion on it is. It doesn't matter to me. Like, oh, you think, oh wow, so you've changed the vocabulary of it in a way that you say that I want kids to be castrated is what you're saying. Think whatever you want. That's not the conversation. Okay, so if you want to, you know, have your emotional diarrhea go everywhere because you can't have a normal conversation, that's fine. But that's your problem and not mine. Stop crying. That's not even what he said. I don't care what he said. Doesn't matter. I'm just talking about the issue in general. So yeah. For strawmanning Charlie's sake. I don't care what it is. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Vlog I saw a stream that they're talking about? Yeah. There's someone who's seen the deal of the aftermath trying to slander me online. Your words very healing. Yeah. And it's very problematic. And it hurts a lot to have to deal with it online. And especially if you're not used to it. Like, I remember when people started first hating me, and it was like very exhausting for me to deal with. And I would try to convince people that they were wrong. And I realized that I never could. Because you can't reason a person out of a position they didn't reason themselves into. And there are some people that all they have to do is look at you, and they know they fucking hate you. That's all it is. That's all it takes. And that's what happens. MrBeast topic and play League again? Maybe. You became numb to it? I did. Whenever I read it now, I just don't even think about it. I don't even consider them people. It doesn't even matter to me, you know, hardly at all. And I think that's a better way and a better way to approach it. Charlie has no need to keep making videos. He did it for the community. He could have left any time. I'm glad he's being smart. Yeah, no, I mean, he's going to keep making videos. He's just not going to be part of the podcast, right? I think that's a smart thing to do. Like, fuck that. He basically got debated into agreeing with kids transitioning. We just thought he meant everything but the medical. I don't care. Like, I don't care about what the take was. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to me. What about positive messages? You have 100 people shake your hand and one person slap you in the face. What are you going to remember? Pretty easy to think, right? I mean, like, come on. You know, you drive to work every day, but you get in a wreck one day. What day do you remember? Yeah, I mean, there are so many real-life examples where it's like negative feedback, people have a higher probability to process negative feedback. Also, another reason why, and this is another big thing online, is that on the internet, almost everything that you see on the internet is going to be read through text, right? Like like I'm reading, he wants to go on an indefinite hiatus, right? So he said, like, there's this. So when you read something, if somebody tells you something, it's coming from another person. But whenever you're reading it, you are effectively telling it to yourself. So I think that internet and like online criticism has like a certain type of pervasive like damaging nature that a lot of other types of harassment and criticism don't have, because on the internet you're reading these negative types of criticism in your own voice, in your own mind, to yourself. So it makes it easier for you to internalize these things and it makes it easier for those things to be corrosive. You see what I'm saying? Even so, with more negative feedback is much more common than positive ones. Yeah, negative feedback is, I think it's a 9-to-1 ratio that you're more likely to receive negative feedback versus positive feedback. That's just the way it is with a lot of things. So yeah, it's not just the internet, it's also books versus street ads and shops. Yeah, well, it's easier to externalize these things because they're not happening inside of your own mind. So with this, I think that reading this stuff can be very, like, you see this happen with a lot of content creators. Like, it's no secret that content creation is like a hotbed for breeding mental illness. Like, and I know this, for example, I think YouTube is better, by the way, than Twitch. So I talk to a lot of people, like whether they're YouTubers, streamers, you know, people on Instagram, etc., right? Streaming is like way more corrosive. And I think the reason why is because most people aren't used to being like observed for hours and hours and hours. So you can't have like weird facial movements. You're getting live feedback in real time and you have to process it. You're getting shit like, yeah, it's instant feedback. People are going to constantly try to come and harass you. So yeah, it's brutal, man. It really is. It can be brutal. And you see it fuck up a lot of people. Like, think about how many streamers there are that that have like report mental illness and stuff like that. YouTubers can just ignore the comment section. Yeah, and I've learned that people will respect you if you have an opinion they disagree with, if you won't back down from it. But and this is a bad thing. People respect someone being willing to hold a wrong opinion more than someone who's willing to change to a right opinion. That's just the way it is. And you will gain more respect from people by standing by a stupid opinion than changing your opinion to something that's more accurate. No? All right. Hard disagree. Okay. So, usually when a person has an opinion that is negatively received, and they change their opinion, the perception is because they changed their opinion as a result of that negative feedback. So it's not seen as authentic at all. So even when you try to change your opinion, people will not respect you for it because they don't view it as your own. They view it as you doing this as a response to them, which is inherently to them not as respectable. I see your point. Yes, exactly. Because you learn. That's not how people see things. I don't think it is. Stand on business. Yeah. It's a social pressure. It's weird, but it's true. Yeah. And I understand that a lot of people say that's not the way that I see it. Well, that's great. But I'm talking about on averages. For having a girlfriend, you defend them no matter how much they get themselves into? No, you don't. You break up with them. If you have a girlfriend that's putting you in situations like if you have a girlfriend that's writing blank checks for you to cash, then bro, like, you gotta get the fuck rid of that. Yeah, not that easy? Yeah, I know, but at one point or another it has to happen. Only a horse doesn't change his mind. People just love to antagonize any opinion that's different than their own. Yeah, and if you change your mind on something, people will never respect you for it. I've seen this happen many times, and I've never seen it be a positive. People don't see things logically the same way that they probably should, and they never have.
So last year we had some major drama between Moist Critical, aka Charlie, and streamer Sneako, as Sneako was in his Red Pill era and posting relentlessly about Charlie, as well as a couple of other YouTubers and streamers he had made this infamous collage of.
Best commentary award is a dude who doesn't believe in anything, who games for 13 hours straight and so guys, I farted in a diarrhea and this happened. I'm not gonna say names. Someone texted, he's in a monogamous relationship. This is his girl.
He posted about Charlie to the point where he eventually had to reply with this tweet: "You pathetic, sensitive, soy little worm. I made fun of you for watching your girlfriend get by numerous other men, and also insulted you for defending. That's not cancellation, that's just spitting on you for being a pitiful, sad." Out of this, we would then get the clip of Sneaky dancing around, brandishing a pistol in his hands, threatening Charlie, saying that he could get these clips.
You wanna watch my clips? Watch my clips. Watch my clips.
This, of course, would give us the most glorious moment in the beef, the Mags comment.
But he's a f***ing imbecile, you absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips. The same way that this is also a mag.
And then we would later get this debate. Overall, in the eyes of most, Charlie would decimate Sneako here and make him look very immature. And I would say the majority of viewers thought at this point that he had won the war. Well, Sneako has again been trashing Charlie like no other, especially over the recent situation with MrBeast and his creeper Chris. Sneako's stance was that Charlie is a coward for not immediately speaking up about this situation, saying that he is a hypocrite for talking about Dr. Disrespect, but not discussing Chris.
Yo, look out, Moist Critical is not gonna go talk about the Chris situation because he wants to have the MrBeast collab.
Well, Charlie would respond to this on Twitter, and even spend several minutes in his video about the Chris situation, addressing Sneako's claim that he was ducking this topic.
I was always going to make a full breakdown of this because it's bad. It's a horrible situation. So yes, you're right. I do talk about like big trending bad shit like Dr. Disrespect or like Cody Ko most recently. I don't know why people thought I wouldn't talk about this. So I've never been someone to and shy away from a bad situation like this just because I know or am familiar with the person that it's about. He has no problem abandoning his morals and defending blatant brushing it under the rug as long as it means it keeps the MrBeast collab alive. For you to make insinuations like that and even claims like that is f***ing unhinged, considering you make actual defense arguments constantly.
Well, once again, after this back and forth, the two would have another debate, and this time people were a lot more conflicted about who actually won, as both of them made some very strange comments throughout this conversation. Now, just to be completely transparent with you guys, the full debate here was around 90 minutes long, and no, I did not watch the entire thing. I just feel like at this point my brain is already rotted enough, and I didn't want to put it through that type of stress. But if these two comments that these guys made are any indication of how this debate went overall, yeah, I just don't think my brain could have taken it. So first, let's talk about what Sneako had to say. As you guys know, he's been riding the anti-age of consent wave for quite some time now.
It's just because we have a different idea of what it means to be a child, which can be tracked historically. The general principle in Islam is, you know, you can do what you kind of want, so long as, I'm not going to say you can do what you want so long as you harm it. You can marry whomever you want to marry, so long as it doesn't cause them harm, physical and psychological. And once again, yeah, it's very relative.
And so Charlie kind of questioned him about his beliefs here, asking him if a 21-year-old should be able to marry a 15-year-old. And you'll never believe what he has to say.
I'm talking about your personal beliefs. Do you think someone in their 20s should be able to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
So should someone who's about to graduate college be able to marry someone who's just entering high school? Like last year, they were running around on that middle school playground.
I personally wouldn't do it. I don't know many people who would do it. The maturity for people and the teenagers in the West is getting much worse, but there are...
We're talking globally. Let's just talk globally. Like, do you think it is okay for... I'm not talking about just you specifically anymore. Anyone. Do you think it's okay for anyone in their 20s, an adult, to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
A 21-year-old, if there was a marriage where the father consented and the daughter consented, and it was both good on both families and they wanted to do it, why am I going to get involved? Why should we get the government involved?
Well, at that point, that's almost like arguing, well, why should we have any laws at all? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not a big fan of the government overreaching into people's personal lives and their personal decisions. But as a society, we have to have some sort of structure of what's right and wrong. And I would think that most people with a rational brain can understand why a 15-year-old is not mentally equipped to handle the decision of getting married to someone in their 20s.
Why would I tell them if everybody's consenting, if everybody's okay with it, if the parents are okay with it, if nobody's being harmed, if it's going to be okay, if they're both abiding by the rules and they're not hurting each other, why not?
Because like I said, the 15-year-old just does not have the mental capacity to truly understand what they're doing, and so really they cannot consent to the marriage. And I believe that is kind of Charlie's point that he tries to make against Sneako here, which I think is the right line of thinking. The only problem is Sneako uses the classic debate tactic of using Charlie's own logic against him, when Charlie would try to make an even possibly more mind-boggling point about a child's ability to choose to transition. But we'll get back to that in a second. I did first want to talk about some of the other comments that Sneako has made regarding the age of consent.
Like, why does that define the age of consent? I had a debate about this, and I said the age of consent is maturity, is the age of puberty, once the body is mature. Because, bro, I know some people, I went through puberty when I was like 17.
Saying that the age of consent should be when somebody goes through puberty is just insane. Like, I don't know if these type of comments come from a creepy place, or it's just an effect of constantly having to play the devil's advocate over and over again, while also trying to have the most shocking opinion possible.
That's why the age of consent is being strictly, exactly, on this second, 18. This defines maturity, and everyone has to pretend like, yes, that defines maturity. This is the correct age, not 1 second more, not 1 second less, and if anything contradicts it, you're disgusting.
I mean, to me, it's just such a weird hill to choose to die on over and over again. I mean, by his logic, if a girl goes through puberty at the age of 12, which I believe many of them do, well, she's then prepared to marry, you know, some 25-year-old man. She's mentally equipped to do so. I mean, by his very same logic, he should have absolutely no problem with what Chris from MrBeast just did. As a matter of fact, in his book, Chris could have went out and married that kid that he was talking to through Discord, and he should really have no problem with it, right? As long as the kid started going through puberty.
And the Moist Critical is like, Sneako, you say that the age of consent is, what do you think it is? I don't know, what do you think it is? Tell me. You think it's 18? It's only 18 in something like 10 states. The rest of it's 17, 16. Around the world, it's 16. A lot of places, 14, 15. So what do you think it is? Is everybody in the world... Japan, they just changed it from 13 to 16. Were they before them? What's the consistency?
To me, the blanket age of consent all over the world should probably be 18. Like, at least in this country, that's when you start getting more personal freedoms. That's the age where if you up, the government no longer sees you as a child, and they're gonna punish you as an adult, and at that point you're really just free to make your own decisions and live with the repercussions of your actions. I don't know, to me it just does not have to get a lot deeper than that. And here is where Charlie actually falls right into Sneako's trap.
Do you believe that somebody can go through hormone therapy? Can they change their gender if they're a child?
I think that's totally fine as long as everyone is consenting. And you agree with it.
Okay.
Just look at the glee on Sneako's face as he realizes that he fell for his trap card.
Hormone therapy, can they change their gender if they're a child?
I think that's totally fine as long as everyone is consenting. And you agree with it.
And obviously, guys, what's the point that's about to be made? Sneako's pretty much gonna say, well, Charlie, so a kid cannot consent to marrying an adult, but they can consent to making a life-altering decision.
Okay, so as long as everyone...
If your parents are okay with it, and you are okay with it, I think that's totally a familial decision to make, yeah.
Okay.
So they're literally making the exact same stupid arguments about two different, very, I guess, controversial topics.
So, a child can cut their off and take hormone blockers and change their biology forever, but they can't get married?
So that's a decision that now extends beyond the family, because now you're bringing in a different party. So if you have someone that's your age coming in saying, I want to marry that child, yep, I don't think that can happen under any circumstance.
Yeah, but neither thing should happen under any circumstance. I mean, listen, guys, I'm all for transitioning once you are an adult, using your own money, okay? I don't think taxpayers should pay for that type of surgery. But if you want to go and do whatever you want to your own body, well, I'm really all for it. Because at the end of the day, I am for adults having their own personal freedoms. But should a child be able to make that type of life-altering decision? Absolutely not. Should their parents be able to make that type of life-altering decision for their kid? To me, no. Like, if I take a baby to a tattoo parlor and say, hey, I consent, put a tattoo right across their forehead that says idiot, there's a reason that nobody is going to allow you to do that.
Okay, if I'm 16 and I personally want to marry this girl. She's beautiful. She's 21 years old. Her family wants to do it. My family wants to do it. You're saying I can't do that. We're both consenting. I'm ready to go. I'm physically mature, but I'm not allowed to marry because Moy says that woman's a... But if then the next day I leave it, I'm depressed, I want to cut my penis off, I can go right into the clinic, snip it off, and start taking HRT like Chris Tyson. That's a society that makes sense to you?
It is. I believe
okay.
Everyone has I believe everyone has the right to do with their body what they want to do.
Okay.
It's just so bad. I gotta say, this is the biggest L I've probably ever seen Charlie take, and he kind of just walked right into it. I mean, like I said, once someone starts using your own logic against you, the debate is pretty much over. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, you know what my point of view is? That neither of those things are okay. The other thing I did want to say is, I do believe that it's actually a lot easier for someone to transition if they want to do that, if they wait until they're an adult. I believe if you start taking the hormone blockers too young, and your reproductive organs don't have the right time to develop, there will usually be a lot of complications with the surgery in the future. So in theory, it's actually in everyone's best interest, including people who know they want to transition at a very young age, to wait until they are at least 18. Either way, after this, Charlie has kind of been getting cooked online. Sneako has pretty much been begging him to release this debate on his channel, so I am curious to see what he will do from here because, like, as someone who puts his opinion out there online for a living, this was kind of a take that a lot of people seem to disagree with. So I had actually recorded that video yesterday, and as I was editing it right now, we actually did get some updates on the situation that include Charlie apparently walking his comments back, and him also potentially leaving the internet altogether.
And now I give a perspective on something that immediately gets misconstrued, and I do recognize a lot of it's my fault. I assumed that Sneako was talking in hyperbole about a 9-year-old getting their cut off, because I didn't have the assumption that anyone thought that is how transitioning works. Under no circumstances, any legality behind a kid saying, I want to change genders, and then immediately going in and getting their cut off. That doesn't happen. I thought he was just talking in hyperbole.
I mean, I think he was kind of just trying to discuss the idea of a child transitioning in general and if that's okay.
I thought he was talking about the overall point of a child transitioning, which is years-long process. And you can't even get that fucking surgery legally until you are 18.
Yeah, but you can definitely start transitioning and taking these various hormones before you turn 18 years old, especially in some states.
And I guess I should have assumed that he was being literal, and that's on me. But yeah, there's no winning on anything. Sneako gets away with saying 12 to 15-year-olds can marry adults. I don't think his chat looks anything like the YouTube chat here. He literally, multiple times, reaffirms that he believes 12 to 15-year-olds can legally, morally, and should marry adults. And there is no problems for him. But I said that I think it's okay for a child to transition, to learn about it. It's a process. You don't just go in and immediately get your cut off. That's not how it works.
I mean, I wouldn't say that he's even necessarily walking anything back there. I also think that the argument he makes about, like, oh, everyone's acting like what Sneako said is okay is just kind of minute, like it's not really relevant, because I have seen Sneako obviously catching a lot of backlash over this age of consent thing for quite some time, and it's pretty obvious at this point that he's kind of cultivated the type of audience that's going to ride with whatever the f he thinks. So I'm not surprised that they're not, like, giving him backlash over those comments. That's what he has been preaching for quite a long time. Either way, this news gets a little bit spicier after it was announced earlier today that Charlie is apparently going to be stepping away from his podcast. Show update. Goodbye, Charlie. Hey everyone, effective immediately, Charlie has made the decision to leave both the official podcast and Red Thread. He wants to go on an indefinite hiatus to scale back his time spent on the internet. We obviously wish him the best, for everyone to respect his decision, and for all to know that the show will always be open for him to drop by and talk shop should he wish to return. So yeah, it seems like Charlie might not be in the best place right now. And I do completely understand if he wants to spend less time on the internet. This job in general can be very taxing from a mental standpoint, and I can recognize how hard it can be to step away from something that is so lucrative for you, that has just become part of your life. But it can also be very toxic when you start talking about more controversial topics, And obviously you read in the comments every day, there's people that disagree with you, there's people that hate you for your opinions, and maybe if he was already feeling kind of burnt out, this might have just been like the straw that broke the camel's back. And despite him dropping what I think is like pretty horrendous take, obviously I wish the best for him, and hopefully he's gonna be doing alright. But y'all let me know what you guys think about this situation down below. It is interesting to see someone who always seems, you know, so composed to be a little bit shaken in this way, especially by a person that a lot of people don't take very seriously. Either way, I do want to thank you guys for dropping a like on today's video and subscribing to the channel, but as you guys know, it's been your boy the Tan Superman, and some other horrible debates out here need to be covered, so I'm out. Peace!
I'm gonna try and find a, BRD run, and I guess LBRS while I'm here just to get the reels.
MrBeast team has finally responded to the allegations, and it is not looking good. So quick recap, the main allegations towards MrBeast are: number one, manipulating and faking the game show videos to favor certain contestants, such as maybe friends and employees, over others, even when it involves lots of prize money. Number two, allegedly conducting illegal lotteries during his t-shirt signing events. Number three, treating the Feastables chocolate bar more like lottery tickets rather than an actual product, and promoting it as healthy at first and then changing the formula while marketing it towards children. Number four, allegedly being aware of Chris Tyson's very shady behavior towards minors. And number five, having a management disaster in his new Beast Games Amazon show, where several people are claiming that they were injured, denied food and medication, and in general treated very poorly. I actually interviewed some of the contestants who reached out to me after my videos, and they wanted to stay anonymous, but let's just say they were not happy. Now, it turns out a member of MrBeast's team named Chucky messaged me on Twitter claiming to debunk the allegations in Dogpack's video, saying that Dawson was just a salty employee. Now, according to his Twitter bio, Chucky is the co-founder of ViewStats and runs the MrBeast Ideas and Thumbnails team, but it seems like Chucky is also his PR team, considering he's messaging anyone who made videos about MrBeast, trying to get them to swap sides here. So let's check out this tweet that Chucky made, so-called debunking the allegations. I quickly want to debunk some of the info in this video, since the guy who made it was on my team. It was my decision to fire him for erratic behavior. He worked at the company for less than a month and wasn't an employee on most of the videos he mentions to have knowledge on. There's so much in his video, and I want to specifically address him, saying that our videos are fake or staged, because this is not true and is on set for many of these videos. You would think that Chucky is going to address the 5 main allegations that I laid out at the start of this video, right? Turns out, Chucky starts talking about whether or not a guy winked, or if a raccoon is a paid actor or something. Like, all the most insignificant garbage that nobody actually cares about. You won't get in a video unless your family or friends are someone that works at MrBeast. This is a wild statement that can easily be proven wrong. There's probably hundreds or thousands of people who have no affiliation to friends or family of MrBeast employees. Think about the 456 people in Squid Game, or ages 1 to 100. Jimmy doesn't know more than like a dozen people, lol. Okay, first off, Jimmy obviously knows more than a dozen people. He has like 50 YouTubers friends already, alright? So nice job, Chucky. Already made a mistake. Second, I don't think anybody cares if some of the people in MrBeast videos are random, okay? In fact, it's actually worse that some people are random and some people are employees or friends of MrBeast, because there is video evidence that the MrBeast team favors certain contestants and manipulates the game shows. For example, in the 100 Boys vs. Girls video, MrBeast pays the one guy from the guys team that can solve the Rubik's Cube to actually leave, meaning the girls team would have a way higher chance of winning. So that is literal manipulation of the results. Not to mention, some of the contestants work for him, and obviously that will shift the odds in any team-based game if one of MrBeast's employees just randomly leaves, right? Like Mac in that one video. The train track was CGI, the bus wheels are CGI, the pit is fake. He acts like exposing us for using CGI to make backgrounds look cool when we have done multiple public behind-the-scenes videos with So Crispy showing this. It's clearly not a secret. On top of that, we did drag buses in that pit, and same with the train that you claim we didn't. Listen, Chucky, alright? You are dodging all the main accusations of Dogpack's video. You're just addressing the dumb little stuff that nobody cares about. Nobody cares if MrBeast uses CGI in some of his videos, okay? Some of the points in Dawson's video were to build a bigger picture for the more serious accusations. It's the first video on his channel. It's not going to be perfect, all right? You did not address the main allegations, like the illegal lotteries, dude. The raccoon was a paid actor. I don't even know what to say about this. Clearly not an actor, lol. Somebody put up the face palm. Do you know what a joke is, Chucky? This is, okay, this is pathetic. I don't even know what the hell I'm reading. I can see why you're not actually on the PR team, all right? You should have stuck to your job, buddy. Island costs more than $1. Not true. We did pay $1 for this island. You can Google MrBeast purchases Outer Banks Island for $1, which stated this before the video was released. He moved into a mansion 2 months before being in a video, $1 million mansion. He talks about how 2 months before we filmed the first Mac video that he moved into a mansion. Mac was staying at a friend's house, and I'm not sure how that proves anything or why it's relevant. The reason it's relevant is that it completely destroys the narrative that Mac is like a struggling person whose life is going to change once he wins this life-changing MrBeast money, when behind the scenes, Mac was always chilling because he got bajillionaire MrBeast as his buddy who would pretty much do anything for him, right? Not to mention, MrBeast favors Mac over many of the contestants. It's pretty obvious. One of the challenges, Mac literally just got out first on purpose and was awarded a car. Yeah, a car for getting last place, it seems, because obviously beforehand something must have been scheming. Maybe MrBeast told him, oh, get out first, I'll give you a car. That is likely what happened, because how else is he gonna know, right? This wink was added in post. Bruh, he really did a wink. This is a flat out lie again. Bruh, put the bruh sound effect. Bruh. Imagine having allegations of conducting illegal lotteries, promoting gambling to kids, and all these other horrid things, right? And then you got Chucky on your team who responds with, but did this person really wink? Did they actually close their eyes halfway, or was it real or fake? Dude, way to deflect absolutely everything. Congrats, you made it 10 times worse for MrBeast here. The revenge storyline was added in post. He implies that 42 and 58 were scripted and not real. The contestants themselves have talked about this on streams they did after the video. They legit did not like each other. He also claimed 58 was on the far opposite side and didn't hear him. Just because he was on the other side of the room, you don't think 58 heard him yell? How on earth would he know? Okay, so you're not denying it, and you're not even saying that, oh, they definitively knew. You're basically saying, how would he know? It's called an educated guess. It's called, providing proof and evidence and trying to back it up like that. Unlike what you've done here, you've just been like, trust me, bro. You have provided zero evidence. Sorry for getting heated, man. This is just annoying. You have provided zero evidence for what you've said. Dogpack at least cites portions from the videos he talks about and provides some sort of evidence for his allegations. Meanwhile, you're like, trust me, bro. I worked for MrBeast. It just didn't happen. How on earth can we trust you when MrBeast is paying your salary and you got zero proof for anything? Like, I don't know, bro, a screenshot, a voice recording, like anything, maybe get the people on. I mean, you're part of the MrBeast team. You can make a 1 hour long video. In fact, you guys specialize in making videos, yet you can't make a video responding to this. You don't even have to do it on the main channel, on like a separate channel. He has like 50 channels. Come on one of them, post a response. The only reason you wouldn't is if you're admitting guilt here, all right? And you're responding to a 1 hour long video in a single tweet. That is just not acceptable, and you have to address the major points. Otherwise, people are not going to buy it. Not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers. He claims our 100 boys versus 100 girls video is scripted, and the proof is a random text saying it is. That's it. It was not scripted. Jimmy probably had countless people on set for that video, and it would have been impossible to hide. The video was not scripted. I was on set for this, and there was no bias for who won. Okay, Chucky, we need to talk. There is no bias for who won? Now you're just lying, and I wasn't even there and I can tell, because we can see in MrBeast's final edited video that there was bias with the Rubik's Cube thing that I just pointed out. MrBeast even says in the video something along the lines of, I paid the guy who can solve, the Rubik's Cube to leave. That is literally bias. He is favoring the girls team in that clip. Do you have any idea what you're talking about, Chucky? Can you stop glazing him for 1 second and open your eyes, Mr. Chuck? He also implies that the video is fake because we have some employees on each team. The employees in the video were there to fill in for people who tested positive for thing last minute right before filming. Thea, Jimmy's girlfriend, mentioned this on a podcast over a year ago. If it wasn't for sickness, they would have not been in it. They had the same money on the line as everyone else. Some random text of someone thinking it was rigged doesn't mean it's rigged, lol. Okay, so you admit there were employees in the team. It doesn't really matter if you put them there because somebody was sick. It still greatly affects the video by having MrBeast controlled puppets installed into the teams who can rig the competition in their own way, right? Because they work for MrBeast, all right? And in these kind of game shows, it kind of needs to be fair for everybody because there's actually like laws regarding this. So there's clearly some element of rigging the competition because a lot of the employees seem to just randomly leave without actually putting in their full effort, right? And now each team will have unequal active members, which obviously tips the scale of balance, right? He also suggested the real-time video is fake. This is not fake. It was a nightmare to make this video, and it was legit filmed in 10 minutes. Amazing defense. It's not fake, guys. Source? Trust me, bro. Trust me. I was actually there. I actually worked for MrBeast. You don't have a source. You have zero evidence. Not even a 5-year-old who believes in Santa is buying that video was real, all right? Also, I think some of the MrBeast giveaways are fake. We do not fake giveaways. I've been hands-on with some of them and have personally been the person to connect winners with our accounting department to get paid. You also suggested we didn't spend $1 million on Samsung phones, and I can assure you we did. Another lie from you. Okay, so just because you didn't fake some of the giveaways doesn't mean that all of them were legit. Why are there so many people complaining on places like Reddit that they didn't get the stuff they were promised? In fact, listen, I get the fact that some people are sore losers or just salty and, they might be making up stuff to take MrBeast down or something like that. But the amount of people coming out with these accusations is a bit ridiculous, and a lot of the other accusations are backed up by evidence. So, I don't know, we're all just supposed to trust you for some reason. I could keep going, but I don't want this to be long. You should have kept going, please. Dawson himself said on Reddit that he was on shrooms and weed when filming this video, which might explain some of the made-up stuff. Dawson was only employed from March 25, 2024, and was let go on April 19, 2024. He was on a 90-day trial, and we ended it early and paid him out on June 25, as we guaranteed the 90 days of pay so he could transition into a new job. I'd appreciate it if everyone reading this could help dispel all this fake rumors by spreading this info. Don't worry, Chucky, I'm spreading this info. I read out your entire statement, start to finish. You should be thanking me, Chucky. Jimmy spends unfathomable amounts of money and time to ensure the integrity of what he does, and I hate to see it come into question with a bunch of lies. Dawson, if you leave this up, then you're a hypocrite. No, actually, Chucky, you're just a paid shill for MrBeast, and when I asked you in DMs for clarification regarding these allegations, what did you do? That's right, you didn't even respond. It's been over 2 days. I'm waiting for a response. I gave you a chance to respond, and clearly you had nothing to say about stuff like the illegal lottery, because a lot of this stuff is indefensible and has a ton of proof. Now, Dawson actually responds to this tweet with his own debunking of the debunking, so we'll get to that soon, but first, we gotta check out the replies. Fake signatures, fake lotteries, rigging competitions, employee who keeps winning, promoting gambling to kids, changing ingredients in feastables to make them very unhealthy, and rigging the chocolate factory competition. Being exposed for the hide-and-seek competition and more all had evidence. You responded to the most mildest criticisms and jokes. Lol. A couple of problems with the statement. First, a lot of your evidence is just, it didn't happen, lol. Trust me, bro. Basically just a he said, she said type of situation. You're all part of the biggest YouTube channel out there. You have a responsibility to be ethical. Exactly. And the reason a lot of people are caring about this is because MrBeast is an influence on 300 million people, alright? He influences an entire generation. All right, and we gotta make sure the top guy is clean, okay? Biggest issue is that MrBeast has concocted a business that gets 10-year-old kids addicted to gambling by associating it with dopamine hits coming not only from gambling, but also from chocolate. Okay, so Dogpack or Dawson has responded here, debunking your debunking. Good character assassination attempt. You guys leave out my unpaid trial period and also my time working for Idea Guys, a company for which MrBeast is a client. The founder of Idea Guys also had to get permission from MrBeast to hire me, so weird you guys wouldn't tell him I was erratic. Also, weed and shrooms was an obvious joke. Nah. Chucky is allergic to sarcasm. He only speaks one language, and that's the ancient dialect of MrBeast glazing 24/7. Jimmy doesn't know more than like a dozen people. You expect people to believe this? How many people do his employees know? Who was the contestant in Crane vs. Pit? How about Lambo vs. Shredder? How did Ava's cousin Justin get into the Chocolate Factory video? Or Della Vlogs? CGI is clearly not a secret. Okay, cool. So, when Jimmy was accused of using too much CGI in Train vs. Pit, why did he deny it on Twitter? The raccoon was a paid actor. Bro, you expect people to believe Chris and Chandler were just petting a actual wild raccoon? From your own source in the island, the transfer tax was $1. The company also paid $27 in tax and fees, and you leased it back to the owner, so that's $28. I feel like this is a minor point, but considering Chucky bought it up, I understand why he's refuting this. The wink was added in post. It was. Compare that wink to the contestant's other winks in the other scenes or none of his TikToks. His mouth always partially opens, but that doesn't happen here because in the original footage, it was a blink, altered to match the false revenge narrative. I hate how Dawson has to respond to these absolutely tiny, inconsequential things that Chucky brought up. It's just annoying. Like, we should be focusing on all the major accusations here. Interesting how you didn't mention altering the timers or contestant dialogue in post. I think it's because these are pretty undeniable, honestly. Not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers. You acknowledge that the contestants were not random subscribers, but refuse to acknowledge the clear rigging, which can be seen multiple times on camera. Please watch Upper Echelon's video analyzing case law regarding this rigging. Also, I've now heard from people on the boys team that they were fed much later than the girls, and the production was clearly favoring the girls. This is a typo. Upper Echelon's video also goes into the alleged illegal lotteries, which he describes as seemingly completely indefensible. You conveniently forgot to address those as well. Now hide my reply, cause you're guilty. Okay, great response by Dawson here. Pretty much completely shut down Chucky. And honestly, the alleged illegal lotteries is really scary for MrBeast because I noticed they seem to be taking down any evidence of those live streams online. It was apparently uploaded on Facebook and has since been taken down as well, which is very suspicious. You know, not making any accusations, but very interesting timing by the Beast team, you know, trying to sweep it under the rug, it seems. Now, we got to talk about the Beast game situation again, because turns out something fishy might be going on. Here's a tweet by Rosanna Pansino, popular YouTuber and one of the contestants in MrBeast's hide-and-seek game. The first MrBeast Beast Games video is being suppressed in every country outside the US on TikTok. Rosanna put out this video saying, "I'm being silenced, hashtag Beast Games."
The first video I made about MrBeast and his Beast Games is being suppressed and restricted on TikTok as of today. I was simply telling one of the contestants' stories who talks about what appears to have been a very dangerous and mismanaged set. The video I posted is now only viewable in the US. It is blocked in every other country. As of right now, someone is trying to silence me. I'll let you guys try and guess who would do something like that. If MrBeast continues to run the show like he has so far, I truly believe something tragic could happen.
Okay, that is extremely weird to say the least. Why is that video being blocked in countries outside the US? I don't know. This sounds pretty sus, alright? Now, Rosanna also posted a video where she claims that someone told her that MrBeast requested Beast Games be non-union.
As I mentioned before, I'm in touch with crew members and people working on Beast Games. I've also been in contact with the people who are the IATSE union, both in Las Vegas, where the first week of shooting happened, as well in Canada, where the next round will be shooting. They are the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, and they represent the people behind the scenes who make TV shows and movies. They have over 168,000 members, and pretty much every large set I've ever been on, it's IATSE crews. A higher up in the industry who I trust more than anything, they said that Jimmy and his team specifically requested that Beast Games be non-union, mainly so Jimmy wouldn't have to pay the crew benefits, but also these unions require very strict safety guidelines. Dear members of IATSE, MrBeast has been deemed an unfair production. As per Section 12 of the Constitution and bylaws, no member of IATSE is permitted to work on this production. No member of local shall work on any job that is declared unfair. He wants to hire union workers, he wants the quality, but he doesn't want to pay for them. In my opinion, and from the stories that I've heard, Jimmy pays very little and did not want to cover people's benefits. Amazon gave Jimmy $100 million to make this game show. That is plenty of money to make a same show. And I want to know, where's the money going?
Okay, that is a serious accusation, because MrBeast always parades around as a very generous person, oftentimes just giving money randomly. So if it came out that he's trying to skirt past like safety rules and pay people less, it would be a massive scandal. But of course, as of now, I can't confirm any of this, but yeah, it's interesting for sure. I think all MrBeast fans need to know about the situation for their own safety if they want to compete in one of these events, and in general, just having complete knowledge about the creators that they're watching, right? So if any news or drama creators who speak different languages are watching, please inform your audiences too about the situation. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about the MrBeast PR response and everything else. And stay tuned, there's a lot more to come. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
This video is sponsored by War Thunder. This is Hyrule, an area you first visit not even halfway through The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. And this is the Great Barrier. Just past this barrier is Ganon's Tower, the final dungeon. You're teased with a glimpse of the tower not even halfway through the game, but don't be fooled. This barrier can't be broken until much later in the game. But that didn't stop people from trying to outsmart the game and skip past this barrier. Doing so would skip hours of gameplay. a holy grail for Wind Waker speedrunning. For well over a decade, barrier skip seemed like a lost cause. But eventually, breakthrough discoveries from various talented glitch hunters across both the original release and the remake culminated in one of the most exciting sagas in speedrunning history. This is the complete story of Wind Waker's barrier skip. So, what is this barrier exactly? Well, after completing the third dungeon, Tower of the Gods, you are transported below the Great Sea into the now sunken kingdom of Hyrule. On your first visit here, you may notice a giant barrier surrounding the castle. If you walk into this barrier, you'll be bounced back. There's nothing you can do. You'll go back into the castle, get the Master Sword, head back into the Great Sea, beat Forsaken Fortress, and you end up back in Hyrule. Still can't do anything. No, in order to shatter that barrier, you need to head back to the sea, power up that Master Sword from clearing 2 more dungeons, and embark on a long quest to collect 8 pieces of the Shattered Triforce of Courage in order to return down to Hyrule for the final time and shatter that barrier for good. That's quite a lengthy process. Wouldn't it be nice to just slip right past? Unfortunately, the game really doesn't want you doing that. The barrier is a giant cylinder that surrounds Hyrule Castle. It extends higher than you could see, and extends very far down. You couldn't go over, you couldn't go under, it is unscalable. This barrier is foolproof during normal play, but if you know anything about Wind Waker speedruns, is that they are very glitch heavy. Yes, these speedrunners had some tricks up their sleeves. One such person was Majora MIM, and on June 5th, 2010, he pierced the skin. By getting knocked back by the barrier, Link is temporarily invulnerable. During this period of invulnerability, he walked as far as he could, and with good timing, pulled out the Wind Waker item on the same frame that you lose invulnerability. He was standing in the barrier. Huh, it really was that easy. Not. Turns out it's more than just a knockback barrier. It is layered. Past the knockback layer is an invisible wall that is rock solid. Unfortunately, there wasn't much you could do here. Even with an arsenal of glitches at their disposal, nothing seemed to work. Zombie hovering was out of the question, not just because the barrier was impossibly high, but taking damage would leave you vulnerable once again to the knockback layer. By doing some tricky movement, you could get on the ledge of the bridge, but because the ledges are non-grabbable, there's nothing to work with in terms of ledge clipping. Okay, so clearing the barrier doesn't work, and there didn't seem to be any way to clip past the barrier. Well, actually, there was a way it could be done with one specific glitch: dry storage. Storage is one of the most important glitch discoveries in Wind Waker speedrunning, dating all the way back to 2010 when glitch hunter Clydestorm initially discovered it by catching forest water in a bottle, and then activated storage by pulling out the Wind Waker on the same frame as the forest water turned back into regular water, which happens 20 minutes after bottling the forest water. Activating storage allows you to store events, such as talking to an NPC, opening a chest, or the camera lock when pulling out the Wind Waker. Storage has a variety of uses, such as skipping cutscenes, altering Link's collision in a way that changes how he interacts with level geometry, as well as the infamous Super Swim. These applications of storage are incredibly powerful, but were severely held back by needing to wait 20 minutes for forest water to expire. But on October 3rd, 2012, this annoying restriction was no more, when a user by the name of Foregone Moose accidentally discovered dry storage, a method of obtaining storage without needing forest water, hence the name dry storage. After Moose recounted that they got storage after performing a Wind Waker dive, glitch hunter Ababob managed to figure out how to recreate dry storage. It immediately changed the game forever. As new tricks involving dry storage were being implemented into the run, Ababob began to test out more applications. One effect of storage Bob had discovered back in May was the door cancel, where if you store a text box, clear the text box, and then try opening a swinging door, the text storage interrupts opening the door. In this state, the screen usually turns completely black, and Link's collision is altered severely, allowing him to walk through some walls in collision, including the barrier. On October 1st, 2012, Ababob uploaded a video showing that with the power of dry storage and a door cancel, you could make it past that second layer. And thus, a hypothetical method for barrier skip had finally been found. There was just one problem. There are no doors in Hyrule! Ababob merely showed that with cheats, that if there was a single door in Hyrule, barrier skip could be done. But alas, it wasn't meant to be. Several years would pass without any progress towards barrier skip, until May 2016, when a glitch hunter by the name of Dragonbane was researching a glitch known as after unloading. In a video he uploaded on May 20th, Dragonbane demonstrated after unloading by filling up and fragmenting the game's actor heap in memory while in the Wind Temple, resulting in the Song Stone right before the boss door failing to load. With this discovery, Dragonbane hypothesized, what if you could just make the Hyrule barrier disappear? Fast forward to May 26th, and a major breakthrough was made. Dragonbane proved barrier skip to be 100% theoretically possible. Emphasis on theoretically. Dragonbane showed that if you could fill up enough actor memory and fragment it enough, the barrier would fail to load, completely skipping it. Now, this was an exciting discovery, don't get me wrong, but there was a major hurdle that kept barrier skip as a pipe dream for the time being. How are you going to fill up all that memory? Since actor unloading was a new discovery at the time, not very well understood, and a very lengthy and complicated process to set up, its few proven uses, such as skipping the Tower of the Gods, were niche and impractical. There were only a very few places where you could perform actor unloading, not to mention that even after you fill up all that memory, going through a loading zone clears it. It was frustrating. This glitch had a lot of potential, and was the closest thing to a lead on barrier skip thus far. But without a reliable way to maintain a filled memory down to Hyrule, it was just a theory. A glitch theory. The search for barrier skip was at an impasse once again. But then, just a month later, an accidental discovery had revolutionized Wind Waker. Except, it wasn't in the original version.
But before we get to that, a word from today's sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and is now available for free on PC and consoles. Take command over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships of 10 major nations, ranging from biplanes and armored cars of the 1920s to the fighter jets and main battle tanks of today. Every component of War Thunder's sophisticated vehicle models are incredibly detailed. From the engines, the armor, fuel tanks, and crew, the impressive X-ray view shows you the precise effects of every shot. Customize your vehicles with countless different camouflage patterns and decorations, including community-created ones. Immerse yourself in the intense combat of War Thunder, where incredibly detailed vehicles, realistic graphics, and authentic sound effects place you right at the helm of the most powerful war machines of our time. Join a worldwide community of over 70 million players in epic PvP battles today, and delve into the breathtaking experience that is War Thunder. With an unmatched wealth of high-quality content to discover, there is simply no game better suited for fans of military history. And here's the best part. It's free to play on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox using my link in the description or pinned comment below. This link includes a limited time offer for new and returning players that haven't played in 6 months across all platforms, a massive bonus pack that includes multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive vehicle decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account. So what are you waiting for? Click the link below to claim your bonus and join the battle in War Thunder for free today.
Wind Waker HD is an enhanced remaster released on the Wii U in September 2013, and since its release, it was not nearly as broken as the original. While it benefited from new quality of life changes, many big speedrun glitches were patched out, such as Wind Waker dives and storage. Even so, there was still an active community for this version, and in the early hours of June 24th, 2016, a player by the name of Gertana1 stumbled upon one of its most powerful glitches: item sliding. Item sliding is a glitch that allows Link to build up infinite negative speed, allowing for faster ground movement, massive jumps, clips, and even super swimming. This was thanks to a new feature in HD, where instead of standing still when aiming a first-person item, like the grappling hook, bow, or hookshot, you could move around with the left stick and aim with the right. Item sliding works when you pull one of those items out, hold the left stick fully in one direction, and then on the next frame via pause buffering, hold very slightly in the opposite direction just outside of the analog dead zone in the center, usually referred to as ESS position. Gertana had found this by accident, due to him playing the HD version with a Gamecube controller via homebrew software that incorrectly mapped the analog stick dead zone. After communicating to Gertana, a runner, Zuri Suzy, figured out how to perform item sliding, and its impact on the speedrun was immediate, as various uses of item sliding were beginning to be found across various sections of the run. Gertana set out to try item sliding at a certain location. On August 18th, 2016, Gertana uploaded a video showing himself past the barrier, claiming that he had clipped through a small crack in the barrier, despite the lack of footage of him actually doing it. While many brushed Gertana off as possibly faking it, one player, Link Oscuro, decided to test out item sliding in the barrier like Gertana claimed to have done. 2 days and several dozen hours of attempts later,
What? Guys, I did it! 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 I did barrier skip! Woo! Get it!
For the first time ever, a player had skipped the barrier. No cheats, no theoreticals, just straight up barrier skip, clipping through 2 misaligned polygons of the barrier that left a microscopic gap. There was a catch, however. Link Oscuro copied what Gertana had done, including wearing the iron boots, an item obtained near the end of the game. So if you needed iron boots, you'd still need to complete the Earth and Wind temples, as well as the Triforce quest. Since barrier skip wasn't properly understood yet, and was absurdly inconsistent, it wasn't ready to be used in runs. And if iron boots were required, it would only save a few minutes. No, some important data needed to be collected first. By September 1st, Dragonbane had created a data viewer app for Wind Waker HD, allowing people testing barrier skip to log their inputs, as well as an in-game position, facing angle, and speed. So if someone managed to record themselves performing barrier skip using this tool, the data could be studied and be used to create a consistent setup. Because of how ridiculously precise barrier skipping was, it took over half a year for it to be properly logged and recorded. But on April 10th, 2017, who else but Gertana was streaming his attempts to replicate the barrier skip, this time with Dragonbane's input logger. And then, the moment Wind Waker was changed forever.
Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! No! No way! I did it!
He had done it, and everything recorded too. Redemption for Gertana, and very useful information for Dragonbane and the whole Wind Waker community. Within 24 hours, it was then found that you didn't need iron boots to clip, just a very precise angle and enough item sliding speed. Gymnast86 would create a consistent setup, and this development immediately shaved 2 full hours off of any percent. You no longer needed to beat the first 3 dungeons. Now, the run involved getting the grappling hook from Dragon Roost Cavern as soon as possible, exiting the dungeon, and then using item sliding to super swim across the ocean in order to grab necessary items, such as bombs, the Deku Leaf, and a quiver early. Afterwards, you would use more glitches to clear the Forsaken Fortress revisit, skip the Helmrock fight to then reach Hyrule, perform Barrier Skip, and reach Ganon's Tower, skipping nearly every dungeon and the long Triforce quest. And that's not all. Having a quiver also allowed you to fire light arrows after getting them in Ganon's Tower, even without getting the bow in Tower of the Gods. And the Puppet Ganon cutscene gives you the Mirror Shield and a fully powered Master Sword. This was incredibly fortunate. It was just a shame that in skipping the hookshot from the Wind Temple, runners were forced to do a zombie hover into randomly moving fairies to reach the entrance to the final boss. A cruel trick at the end of the run with about a 2% success rate. Barrier Skip had drastically shortened any percent. Live viewership and general interest in Wind Waker HD speedruns was at an all-time peak, but the luck factor of Fairy Hover made it a very brutal category to grind for several months. But that's a story for another video. While any percent for the time being was in a bit of a dark age, it was not the only category that benefited from Barrier Skip though. The newly created All Dungeons category, as well as 100%, saved significant time for performing Barrier Skip to get light arrows, Mirror Shield, and the fully powered Master Sword early. Also, you could open a portal from Ganon's Tower to Forsaken Fortress, so that you could return to the Great Sea and back to Ganon's Tower with these powerful items. This skips the Triforce quest in all dungeons. All in all, Barrier Skip had made Wind Waker HD one of the hottest games to speedrun in the late 2010s, and it got even better. More optimizations, the eventual elimination of Fairy Hover, and some unforgettable marathon runs, it was great. So, what about the Wind Waker? You know, the GameCube original? The barrier in the original Wind Waker was how it was like in HD, small crack and everything. With enough speed, you could clip right through, but unlike HD, Wind Waker did not allow you to do item sliding, so that wasn't an option to build up speed. But one glitch hunter had some ideas. Trog. He is one of the most knowledgeable glitch hunters and passers of Wind Waker, so if anyone was going to find a way, it was going to be him. Trog had already found, using hacks, that you could clip through the barrier with at least 35 speed. Just barely too high compared to Link's fastest movement options. However, one idea to get enough speed involved dropping a bomb. When Link is holding a bomb over his head, you can press B to drop it, displacing Link's position by several units. Trog then wrote a script that simulated thousands of bomb drops with a displacement of 52 units in a frame to hopefully find a way through. In the end, he found nothing. If Trog couldn't find a way to clip through the barrier, things were looking quite grim. The year is now 2019. Wind Waker HD speedrunning is in the best spot that it's ever been in. The any percent record is comfortably under 1 hour. New optimizations have made the run faster and more consistent. Meanwhile, the GameCube version saw far less activity. Wind Waker HD had stolen the spotlight, and the original version speedrun scene was kinda dead. For 2 long years, the GameCube version was completely overshadowed, but even then, there were still people looking for something new. And on June 27th, 2019, a Discord message from community member R3D would post an image of Link with an arrow stuck to his hand. An accidental discovery that was about to change everything once again. By July 2nd, glitch hunter Legend of Link managed to recreate the arrow and hand glitch in Wind Waker HD, and another glitch hunter, Azure67, managed to recreate it in the original. Soon after, it was soon discovered to be a duplication glitch. The arrows would duplicate in Link's hand, and Azur, along with Dragonbane, PK Slam, and Demon, came to an astonishing conclusion. Arrow duplication could be used to fill up memory. Duplicating arrows will eventually fill up a heap in memory known as game, where actors and their functions are stored, like the arrows. This can lead to actor unloading, and unlike previous setups from 2016, it can be done almost everywhere. However, the game heap will be cleared if you go through a loading zone, which unfortunately means filling up game will not unload the barrier. This is where another heap, Din, comes into play. The Din heap stores small dynamic actors, as well as positions and references of loaded actors, and also serves as a backup space for actors to load into. Thanks to a memory leak exclusive to the Japanese version, which already was the fastest version for Gamecube, you could fill up Din once game could not load any more actors, and when going through loading zones, Din will not clear. Could it be? Yes. On July 5th, 2019, Dragonbane proved, using arrow duping to fill up memory, that the barrier could be unloaded in normal gameplay. Barrier skip was officially confirmed to be possible on the GameCube version. Now, all that was left was for the community to find a way to implement it in speedruns. By July 11th, Gymnast had developed a route that cleared Dragon Roost Cavern and Forbidden Woods to get the bow from Tower of the Gods, then performed a sequence of arrow dupes to fill up game, and then used the grappling hook several times, which is now invisible, and then super swim to different islands to perform similar setups with the invisible grappling hook and arrows to fragment Din memory. Din is a much larger heap than game, and filling up Din would be much more time consuming if not for super swimming to different islands to fragment memory even more, leaving less allocated space for the barrier to load. Very quickly, Gymnast's route was enough to push the category under 3 hours. On July 15th, Demon found a more efficient way to fill up memory in the Forest Haven with just the invisible grappling hook, thanks to that area's low memory. He then used more elaborate memory fragmentation via super swimming, skipping the bow and bringing the route below 2 hours. July 22nd saw Trog discover that bait also helps fill up memory quickly, and by the end of the year, the run became much more optimized and approached the 1 hour mark. However, these actor unloading routes were very volatile. The barrier itself is less than 2 kilobytes in size, so you gotta be careful how much memory you have left leading up to Hyrule, otherwise the game may crash. Random elements that fill up the memory, such as lightning strikes, must also be taken into account. Oh, and while you're in Hyrule, unloading the barrier is luck-based, as it may not be the actor that unloads when you leave the castle, meaning you have to go back in and out of the castle and hope that the barrier unloads. By the end of the year, Any percent had once again been declared dead. Linkus's Any percent run of 104.50 was the culmination of excellent execution and luck with a second try barrier skip. For it to go any lower, beyond the sub-hour, something new needed to be found. Lo and behold, February 1st, 2020, when glitch hunter Bowser is bored, found this. Yeah, remember that bomb clip theory Trog tested out in 2017? As it turned out, Bowser is bored decided to look into doing simulations of his own, this time setting the speed value to 52.7, as opposed to just 52. An oversight from Trog that delayed the discovery of this method of barrier skip for several years. Unbelievable. Now, before you go start wondering why it took so long to find something that looks so simple, this bomb push clip is very precise, down to a float value, a tight set of angles, and a specific frame for dropping the bomb. Needless to say, this was way simpler than actor unloading, and eliminated the luck factor of the previous route. This, along with a simple clip discovered by Gymnast the next day that skipped the grappling hook, helped push the original Wind Waker below 1 hour. Barrier skip was once thought to be merely a fool's errand. With a seemingly impenetrable defense, the Hyrule Barrier was once thought to be one of the greatest obstacles speedrunners could not overcome. But eventually, key discoveries, both from intricately thought out hypotheses as well as dumb luck, led to the holy grail of Wind Waker speedrunning in both the HD remaster and the original release. Even to this day, new setups in both versions are being found to make it faster or easier than ever before, as the legend of the infamous barrier skip continues to be told for generations to come. Special shoutouts to ZeldaSpeedruns.com. Without its impressive documentation of Wind Waker history, this video may not have been possible. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring today's video. And don't forget to check out the limited time offer in the description or pinned comment below. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to shoot for the moon.
That's what I've been waiting for.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and the continuation of our YouTube Spotlight series, where we highlight our favorite creators on the platform. Today, we're counting down the most hilarious and impactful moments of YouTuber and streamer Charlie White, better known to the world as Moist Critical. From making anime reviews back in the early 2000s to becoming one of the predominant internet personalities of our time, Moist Critical's dry brand of commentary and comedy has made him one of the most entertaining and respected figures in the online sphere, which has since become a springboard for him to make his name in music, the esports scene, and a litany of other ventures. But enough ego massaging. Let's get to the list.
His wife was hiding in the trunk the whole time.
I want your services. Oh my god. Where'd she come from? Look, this is not what it looks like at all.
Number 10. UFO Meltdown.
I recently got into a massive argument with my own chat about aliens visiting Earth, which is a crazy war to have fought. You know, it was a bloody battle.
To say that Moist Critical has a rabid fan base who support and enjoy his content would be an understatement. But that doesn't mean disagreements can erupt during streams from time to time. One of the most hilarious examples stems from the time when he went to war with certain vocal members of his chat over the topic of UFOs, warp drives, and other sci-fi nonsense.
How was that proof? Why am I supposed to take that at face value? But they would drop these things like the Eric Butthole incident and have me look it up and be like, how can you not believe us?
Poor guy was nearly brought to the end of his tether, though watching it unfold certainly made for a morbid delight.
And faster than light is an outdated theory. Warp drives are proven. You're misinformed.
What are you? What? Are you having an episode of psychosis?
Number 9. Charlie's first date. He may highlight, analyze, and poke fun at embarrassing online stories all the livelong day, but don't think Charlie is immune to it himself.
I've told many a pathetic story from this sad compendium of miserable social ineptitude, and there's one I haven't shared with you that I thought I'd share today. This was actually the first date I ever went on.
In fact, he happily points out his own less than flattering moments from time to time. Case in point, when he brought up his first date. Needless to say, things didn't go as smoothly as all parties might have hoped.
So she asked me, hey, did you have fun at the party last night? I said, nope. Which is a great response because, I mean, that's super cool.
Going full anime main character and using 800,000 subscribers as a flirting technique was apparently not a good pickup technique at the time. Still, it's endearing to see such a monumental internet personality showcase aspects of their past others might be too ashamed to.
So she didn't really want to stay on the channel that long, but she said congratulations to me, and I was like, well, okay, it didn't really work very well now, did it?
Number 8. Charlie versus spicy food. We're compiling a few videos for this one, but the overarching theme remains the same. Charlie in absolute agony while attempting to take on various spicy foods. He barely lasted a minute while taking on the hottest wing eating challenge.
Alright, I need water, or I'm gonna die. Matt,
No, Charlie.
I give up, I give up.
Whereas the hottest chip challenge nearly made his soul eject from his body.
Oh, wow. Matt, do we have milk? I need milk.
Though nothing compares to when he decided, likely in a moment of madness, to make a tier list of the hot sauces used on Hot Ones. We're honestly shocked he's still with us.
Is it bad for you yet?
That's because you're holding it in your mouth.
Swallow.
Just swallow it. Just swallow. Charlie, just straight up swallow. Don't chew. Just swallow.
Number 7. The Slap Mountain Saga. If you were to ask the master of moistness what he considers to be the greatest sport of all time, it's safe to assume that slap fighting would be close to the top.
If you look closely, Mr. Crystal has actually got 2 sets of hips, so he's able to generate 2 times the power as a normally constructed man.
Charlie has covered a variety of matches as both a spectator and commentator, but we have a soft spot for this mini arc in particular, one that takes the slapping out of the arena and into the Deep South.
Actually, without his glasses, I'm not so sure Big James really even knows what just happened.
Even by slap fighting standards, this whole tournament is beyond unorthodox, leaving Charlie howling in laughter as random strangers get way too slap happy with each other.
After 7 crazy rounds of competition, Mr. Crystal surrenders.
Number 6. Let You Down. Aside from video games, comics, YouTube drama, wrestling, tier lists, anime, movies, and cultural events, one of Moist Critical's biggest passions and subsequent projects is music.
I knew I'd lose you from my selfishness.
Along with Troy McCubry, the two have formed The Gentlemen and have released quite the number of bangers over the years. Naturally, a few got their own music videos, which brings us to Let You Down. While the song itself has a heaviness to it, Charlie decided that for the video, he would take things in a different direction. And by that, we mean he performs a dance routine of such grace and magnitude that the audience starts weeping at the sheer majesty of it. It is, without a question, a display that puts the likes of all prima ballerina assolutas, past and present, to shame.
I just lay you
Number 5. The Odyssey of Creepy Text Messages.
I've never had a threesome, and I've never had an experience where I read something so cringe that it made my tummy upset. One of these two things is about to change today.
If there's one rabbit hole that Charlie can't help but dive into, it's finding the most disturbing, cringe-worthy texts and parading their shame for all to see. There are too many examples to count here, from angry exes to stalkers to the wildest of weirdos. This iceberg seemingly has no bottom to it. Some of these exchanges are so dire that they pretty much fry Charlie's brain.
Chris's mind is an enigma. It is a confusing, perplexing hellscape of ideas, and communication is not.
it's frying my brain just trying to process it.
While it is a little scary to see so many of these unhinged individuals keep plaguing people, at the very least, we'll always get to see their lack of game.
This is the Skull Flame
That
Shield.
was one of the most.
This is probably. I'm
peculiar
just testing it
lies
out with
I've
Ellie
ever
to see like.
You're going to stop at the
if like
park
I'm
on the
getting
way home
significant
so you can
amounts of like
visit your
damage from
favorite
the
swan
proc
couple,
from getting hit
Mr.
with
Plump
the
and
spell power
Mrs.
gear, and like it
Plumfette.
seems like it's
Number
working, but
4,
it doesn't
the
really
Moonfall
one for
Experience.
one type of
No
deal.
one
It's
loves
like
bad
not so
movies
much.
as much as Moist
I'm not getting
Critical.
226
That's just
extra
a fact
damage
of life.
basically.
You all know
But,
how much
this
I
is
love
more of like a
horrible,
farming
bad
shield,
movies,
honestly.
and
I'm
am
just doing it
giddy
for
with
science.
excitement
Like,
right now to
I'd probably
talk about
wear
a movie I
the
just saw
immovable
that I now
object
consider
for
to be the goofiest
higher
film
stamina
ever
and
made.
One
armor.
may even call him a
The block
connoisseur
value is
of
kind of
crappy
shit.
cinema. Atop this pantheon of pungent pictures is Moonfall, a film saturated in so much so bad it's good content that it became a life-altering event for Charlie.
This whole movie is like taking the insanity of a Neil Breen movie, but giving it $100 million to realize the craziness.
In this review segment, The Moist Meter, he dives deep into the absurdity of the film's premise, the ridiculousness of its writing, and every other bonkers aspect. That, when all pressed together, becomes a diamond of terrible movie making truly worth celebrating.
Every single moment of this movie, when you think they've run out of stupid juice, finds another way to make it even dumber. And I couldn't appreciate it more.
Number 3, ruining a scene in the Hunger Games. Katniss who?
I was an extra in the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. I know, no autographs. I'm just a normal person like all of you.
For many, this was their first introduction to Moist Critical's channel.
Yeah,
where he tells a quick story about
it's
how
meant
things
for like
didn't
farming.
exactly
Like
go
I use
smoothly
it when
during
I'm
his
farming gold
Oscar-worthy
in
performance as
Scarlet
an extra in the Hunger
Scarlet
Games
Monastery
Mockingjay
Cathedral.
Part 1.
I will never forgive
It's,
them. Boycott
you're
Hunger
gonna get
Games
more
because they took
talking
out
on
my
like
part.
15 plus
But
more
anyway, my
targets
line
hitting you
was
type of
somewhere
deal.
along the lines of
And,
this girl needs help,
realistically in
she's
like a
burned,
dungeon
yikes,
or
oh,
even raid,
shit,
you're not.
it's a burn.
From the costume department struggling to find the right fitting for him, to having his one line cut, to
Actually,
being
there's
pushed
a feral
all the way to
here.
the back of the set since his posture,
Feral.
poise, and presence was too darn perfect. Oh, what could have been.
And I probably
But yeah,
ruined a little bit
it
of
doesn't
that
proc
scene.
as often
Not
like
by
pulling
design,
like 5
but
mobs here and
I
there,
was
so
out
it's
for
like a
number
very
one.
small
I was going
amount
to
of
be the
damage,
world's
but
most impressive
I've seen
extra
it
on this movie. Unfortunately,
be about
they
3-4%
outsmarted
of
me.
my damage
Number
when
2,
I'm like gold
dating
farming.
20 women at once.
Like huge pack
This
pulls,
might sound
what
like
I can't
a dream
normally do
scenario
unless I've
for
got
many,
like god
but in
dealers
typical
or something.
Moist fashion, he manages to turn it into comedy gold.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. Why should you be my wife?
Why should I be your wife?
Posted on his collaborative second channel, simply known as The Other Channel, Charlie sets out to find love via the tried and true method of a speed dating show. Of course, there's a twist, since his friends are feeding him lines to spice up the interactions.
I won. That.
What does that mean?
That means you gotta leave.
Combined with the rather potent personalities of a few prospective lovers, the whole thing is a supernova of awkwardness that we cannot get enough of.
What's the difference between refrigerator and butthole?
Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Charlie versus U.S. Immigration. The faceless bureaucrat keeping Charlie's esports team out of the country has since become his nemesis.
And even with the goddamn Avengers on our side, U.S. Immigration slams the door in our face and turns us away like it's a lacrosse house party in college.
Moist Jesus. Apparently Charlie has a messianic quality about him.
So all of these Facebook elderly women are just like repenting for sins and saying amen and we love you, Jesus, we love you, thanks for being our friend. It's absolutely adorable.
The dad drawing. Picasso himself would be awestruck by Charlie's artistic ability.
Here's...
No. I didn't do STV a lot actually back in like phase 2 and 3. I did it for like something. I was trading lumber for a Rothy Basin rep. Like that's why I would do it to get defilers to Exalted.
Number 1, the ultimate flex. Given his immense popularity and tendency to call out those for their wrongdoings, it's fair to say Charlie has been targeted by other content creators over the years. This includes Sneako, who eventually escalated things to an absurd degree, culminating in him showing off loaded bullets on a stream as a low-key threat.
Want to watch my clips? Watch my clips.
And what did Charlie do in response? He educated him in the most savage way possible.
You absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags.
Not only showcasing the difference between clips and mags, but also displaying his own assortment of firearms.
The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips.
Naturally, we can't show the size of Charlie's weaponry because YouTube, but let's say it's a lot bigger than what Sneako was packing. What's your favorite moist critical moment to date? Let us know in the comments. And be sure to subscribe to get more great videos every day.
You're scaring me. You are scaring me. Why would you do that?
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
I think in the next phase we're gonna get ZG. It's like the 20-man raid. It was like a kind of a catch-up raid. It dropped like some good pre-bis to like get into MC type of deal. And, some decent epics. That's coming out. AQ 20 and 40 should come out as well. And next phase is what I'm like from what I remember from Classic. And then after that, phase 6 would be Naxxramas. Yeah, that'll be interesting with all these new tanks and like not warriors being the super meta. I mean, they might end up being the meta actually. I mean, actually, the last raid I was in, the warriors kind of sucked ass actually. So maybe they still need a bit more gear.
It's too far away. Still recharging. Ancestors be praised.
think the new hybrid tanks are gonna keep retired them warriors. Ain't log tanks still decent as well? I think they're like one of the best tanks. I feel like I've read somewhere they have like 90% like damage reduction from armor or some shit like that, something crazy like that. So I think they're like tankier than a shaman, but I feel like shaman has like more badass AoE damage as like elemental tank. That's what I'm testing out. It looks like it fucking slaps. I mean, I'm top DPS as the tank basically throughout these dungeons, but probably different in like a raid environment in terms of like single targeting a boss. Oh shit, oh, never mind. This ain't the guy. Eviscerator, that's not who I want. I want to get the SGC.
mod 4. Ace, deuce, scrap, 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 mod 4. Ace, deuce, ace, deuce, scrap, mod 4. Scrap, mod 4. Who wants the hot 4? 5 wants 4. Check me out, y'all. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 4 and he made us the hard way. Hey, the front line takes the hard. We have a shooter and a good one. Coming out for a new point. Get your bets now, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you use Epic Mace at the king for something? Oh, you mean what calls it? The Iron Foe? I mean, yeah, for deep in deep enhance Shaman Tanking I could, but like there's not a warrior in here. I don't think the rogue would want it. And I think this is like an Ellie Shaman, so I might be able to roll on that thing for deep enhance if it drops, but I mean, I'm mainly here for reals. Like, I've already got a Hodge off the last boss, like the one trinket every melee wants. This bad boy.
Vamos, isn't it? I don't give a flying fuck, bro! It's fruit nouveau. It's fruit nouveau. The shape of love.
Just say it did not drop and let's move on. We were going for that. It was one of our guys that wasn't there. Like me and both the druids were there for killing that shit. It was like either the shaman or rogue that got that loot and needed that key for like the relic coffer or whatever. But this guy's getting mad about the kitty druid. Rogue probably had it in his back. No, it was like one of these guys. Like the Rogue, or yeah, maybe the Rogue actually. Yeah, okay, never mind. It was the Feral that was like the one that wanted to get that coffer stuff done. It's like one of these raid leaders from yesterday is whispering me for Oni, so I'll probably DPS that after I finish this.
I see you at my job. You're carrying yourself so well. I made myself a promise. What's that? Not to get emotional. As I remain stable. I take another glance at you. If we were at the disco, then I would have to dance with you. This isn't cool. And in my lonely eyes, I see myself in eloquent stride. In a sharp tuxedo, it goes nothing to her. I wanna hold your hand. I haven't been the same man since I saw you coming in. Let's have a toast to the girl in aisle 10. I wanna hold your hand. I haven't been the same man since I saw you coming in. Let's have a toast to the girl in aisle 10. I seen you about 9:15. You shine in the neon sign. Where are you from? You floating like an angel at night into my life and leave me with the song to write. And now I'm loaded, holding my sack, and wondering where she is at. With a line of customers getting mad, they didn't see what I seen. The store queen made everything easier for one fine eat. And in my bloodshot eyes, all I can see is everything's fine. With a turning stomach, running thoughts through my head. I wanna hold your hand. I haven't been the same man since I saw you coming in. Let's have a toast to the girl in aisle 10. I wanna hold your hand. I haven't been the same man since I saw you coming in. Let's have a toast to the girl in aisle 10. You came in here again. I'm drinking by the beer. I made myself a promise that I would finally talk to her. As I remain stable, I take another drink for you. I set it on the table. I'm sure I look a drunken fool. I'm seeing two. And in my lonely eyes, I see myself in eloquent stride. In a sharp tuxedo, it goes nothing to her.
No iron foe, but I got the trinket that I mean, not trinket, it's like a shaman totem for like Ellie shaman tanking. This is like their bis totem, so I got that out of the way. I have a feeling it's gonna get nerfed though, but I'm gearing it up anyways, just for the sake of it. Because I can't use the other two totems that I have. One of them requires like, or actually no, wait, I think I could use the tanking totem. Melee attacks with, yeah, okay, I could use this, but like this one is bis for threat right here, the Totem of Rage. Even before Sod, that was like bis totem for shaman tanking. Alright, so there was a guy that was whispering me. Alright, I'm done if you guys still got space for enhance. I got invited to like an Onyxia like mid-run here. I told him if you guys still need me by the time I'm done. Okay, yeah, sweet. I think I'm good on supplies. Yeah, I just need like some. Oh wait. I need my necklace to even like enter there. I was almost gonna forget that. Maybe a couple pieces of fire res gear. Yeah, maybe. I might. I don't think I need it for Onyxia. I feel like it helps for the trash. Oh, I already got one of these. I need it on that as well. Good thing I lost it then. It's unique, right? Oh no, it's not. You could wear two of these. Yeah. Maybe in case I need like fire res gear. That'll be the fire res gear for that. Take the summon. And I'm already in these guys' Discord. I actually stood down because they nerfed 20 plus MC. And I was the 21st sign up, so I was like, hey man, I don't mind standing down. I could just find another bug, etc. And yeah. Let them do their MC. And I found another MC, which is kind of shit actually. Full of assholes. Like, I was literally there trying to help, and like, I see them in, like, they invited me to guild, and I see the guild chat history of like them all like basically roasting me. I'm like, wow, really? Okay then. Try and do good for these people that never did MC the first week. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, hopefully. Every Onyxia group I've been in, I haven't been able to kill it. Maybe I just lack the patience, but yeah. I've either left or gotten kicked, like the one Onyxia video. I'm gonna take a piss before these guys all get here. What have they got? Like, okay, they need like 3 more anyways, so yeah, I've got time to take a piss and everything. I'm on US. I'm on Wild Growth NA. I guess this is mainly a pug, but like it's led by one of these guys that was forming an MC group yesterday. From what the hell was his name? His guild's name? Like not I'm eating. Pushing up Peace Boom. That's the guild. But like I see one person, two people from that guild. I guess. I think they had like a 9, and they were getting like the rest pugs. I guess. Yo, is this the Oni channel? This guy might be AFK. It's all good. I just didn't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the same Discord. Dude might have linked something else. Cedic's group. I'm assuming he has like a different Discord that he linked. I just assumed it was pushing up Peace Boom Discord. Okay, it's a different Discord. Where were this Discord? Oh, this is called Atlas.
Oh, he's in here. Let's go. Okay.
I saw you had a lot better gear. I was like, oh wow. It's okay.
Did you want Shaman Tank, the guy named Shaman Tank, or the actual Shaman Tank dude to grace the bear?
That was very confusing.
That's a very good. It's a very good question.
I meant the guy named Shaman Tank.
Okay, okay.
It's a very good question. If there are any skinners, if there's multiple, you can roll for the skin.
I'm actually just realizing I have my like elemental Shaman Tank gear. Like some of my gear is actually in the bank, so if I could get a summon, I hate to do this like last second here, but I'm just realizing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm heading up for the summon. Just need two more.
Well, okay. It's also increased.
Are two of you coming outside to summon?
I get two fast boys. Fire cat's on his way.
Okay, yeah, I'm good on gear now. I just realized I had a couple of elemental pieces from elemental shaman tanking, so it's like I didn't have all my actual DPS gear on me.
I'll probably have you tank, Odie. Go on us, I'll grab ads.
Who's more gear?
He is. Well, we're both pretty geared, but I think he's
pretty good. Pretty good fire resist, huh?
Yeah, but it's about the same. Yeah.
Very good.
Oh, there's two of us.
Yeah, I don't think it's really heavy fire resistance required for tanks. I did this like on, well, I attempted to do this on, which calls it, the first day this came out with MC, and we made it to like phase 3 like once with me as deep enhance, like without any like fire resistance gear.
Phase 3 transition's the hard part, and then the other breath. I mean, and spreading. You got a pretty good spread.
Thanks for the summon.
Yeah, you good.
Join them as the new main boss off tank enhancement build. There's like this thing like going on where it's like I have to like inform people in advance. There's some kind of fucker like out for my fucking demise that like the last 2 guilds I joined, I was like just G kicked out of like randomly. They don't even talk to me. They just believe this random guy that's like, yeah, that guy, he's like a terrorist racist or something. Like something like that is being said about me. My name is being slandered, and like I'm getting G kicked out of guild. So it's like, you know what? The pug life might be the way for me.
Yeah, it's alright.
I gotta build a name for myself here.
I've seen better.
I mean, it's a big server.
Eat your consumies and buff up. Does anyone not? Oh, and use a fire pot now. At the start of the fight, don't touch Anixia. We're gonna go take her to the position that she's been in for 20 years. She'll be the off tank.
Who's the main tank? Just so I know who to alpha. Okay.
And X will get the Anixian Drake. It'll land. Give him a second. Just kill it on the left side. After that, pump into Oni. Be on the left side. Melee can stack with me. Watch the tail swipes, don't get knocked into whelps. When she starts flying, she'll run up here, just keep beating her, and then go kill the whelps, and then it's all about spreading about 8 yards for the fireballs. They'll drop your threat, they'll also do a fuck ton of damage and can flag you. And then the hard part, I believe you have to either 30 or 35 for her to come down. The hard part's the transition. You do not touch Onyxia. The tanks have to get her in position. There'll be a shitload of fears, tremors, and fear wards, and then like every 30 seconds a fucking warder comes out. Off tank be ready to grab it, take it to her ass, turn and burn it. Towards the end, if I say just burn Onyxia, then listen to that. Otherwise, it's watch out for the pings. If anyone's really good with deep breaths, I'm not a classic Andy, I'm a retail Andy.
Yeah.
You can help ping with me where you should be.
Yeah, it's like normally like both opposite sides are like a safe spot depending on what Onyxia is facing. If you're like paying attention to her in phase 2.
Yeah, she seems to breathe like 2 times down the middle, and then she goes like diagonally.
That is correct about the middle part there. Like that's gonna be our first breath. But yeah, this is like a group of like pugs here. I think we're just using the Atlas Discord, but like I think the guy that was forming the group is like from a different guild, like pushing up Peaceblin.
Let him get her in position. And then Onyxian Drake's coming down. Onyxian Drake coming, actual get her. Don't want to take it on top of her. Off to the side, it's fine. Kill the Drake. Right there's perfect. Kill that Drake real quick. Watch the breath. On the left side, catch a couple berries maybe, but you shouldn't get tail swiped. Don't be afraid of the whelps when they come out. Honestly, like these can tank them with cat and swipe things. How is that man dead?
Might have been in front of Boney.
May not have. I got breathed on. I think.
Use Balefire Bolt.
No, I was. At that time, I was using Crossfire.
Maybe move Burrito to group 4 then?
I should be able to get a res, right?
If we want to use them, you know. I don't really trust you right now. To be honest, homie. You gotta earn.
On you?
More dots. More dots. The fires melee we have.
Spread out.
Spread 8 yards. Warders are also gonna come out. Tanks be ready to pick them up. Melee don't pull them. Fly on top of the warder. Kill this warder. Keep an eye on her. Well.
Who's this man yelling at me?
Fucking DB. Should be right down the middle.
Yeah, it should be breathing soon, yeah. Move out the middle. Move out the middle.
Focus on this border too, guys. Just have this top guys, don't get breathed on. Start stunning bullshit. Melee don't fuck with the whelps, just kill the warders. Spread, spread, it's all about spreading. What's the next breath?
I misheard this guy. I thought he said don't get on these guys.
Kills on axe, get fireball. Sicko, melee group's a little trouble. Orders down, spread. Spread, spread, spread while you pump. They're really ranged heavy, that's good. Try to keep poison on it. this water real quick. Try to be as spread as you can, at least 2 groups of melee on it.
Something back out. Stack thunders on me in the back.
Just anyone tag them, they don't hurt them.
Yeah, I ran me into a trap.
One of the melee or axe go kick as well. Just spread out, spread out, spread out. Probably get one more breath. Keep an eye on where she's going.
She's kind of looking
maybe we
like
can play the right side right now. The safe spot is there and there, right? Guys, burn this water. Might need some range to help.
I'll pick up the warder if you want to get in position.
It's not time yet. She's not landing.
So he's ready.
What percent shot?
40D.
These are stunnable too, guys. She's gonna land to like 35, so stay spread. You don't unspread until she starts to land.
Another warder.
Big damage on the warder, guys. Kill this water. Everyone can hit the water. Don't touch Anixia. Tremors, don't touch her. Get her in position. Quick as you can, please.
Watch
Res X.
go.
Got another water. Get on her side. Reposition like phase 1. Yeah, we need XL.
We got,
all ranged on the water. Listen, all ranged on the water. Solani.
Move him into position.
No. Tanks are dead. This is why you don't waste fucking battle reses on people that die in phase 1, please. Just listen. We have a soul stone, right? The entire fight is the transition. The entire fight. Pure ward on both tanks. Be ready to pick them up and get them in phase 1 position. The off tank is getting that water, dragging it to her butt, and killing it. We just want to get back into a phase 1 position, which is where...
Miss any loot from Anixia? Well, I haven't done Anixia for the first 2 lockouts, so I've missed 2 chances on Warbringer. It's like that one axe that like hits fucking hard. Like I think every melee wants that axe. Like 2 of those for enhance is like basically this. The Oni loot. Like I'm pretty sure that's mainly what I want from Anixia in terms of like bis gear. Like for all of this phase, like it's gonna be like 2 of these bad boys are like my bis right here. Just because they hit so fucking hard. It's not about the like shadow bolt that gets sent. It's more about like the high end damage this does and how slow it is. It's a 2.9 second, so it's like really good with Wind Fury. But like that shit was like rare because I remember it dropping like once in a GDKP in era and like some land whale dude, or I guess just whale, like spent 6 or 7k, and like we all got like 300 gold payout, something like that.
I tried to keep it on the tanks and some healers.
Okay, good. That phase 3 is just that first sphere, making sure that at least both tanks and a couple of healers have it, keeping them alive. No one else should be touching a mix, okay?
People died from the whelps though, and somebody got knocked back into like 30, 40 whelps.
Yeah, we don't want that. Yeah, we have so many locks, we can soul stone the locks, or the tanks too.
Not this point.
Yep.
But it's fairly easy. We just stack phase 1, spread phase 2, stack again phase 3, and just every time there's a transition, we just all stop and just let the healers and the tank play.
No, everyone should be either killing that water or going back to phase 1 position and or both.
Am I the only shaman? What is this guy doing? Did he die or something? Why is he down there? Wait, this is the tank I'm pretty sure I'm looking at right here.
Also in phase 3, just let the warders come to the tanks. Don't like DPS them while they're going there.
Is there only one war and one other shaman you roll against this run? It looks like there isn't one other, like there's an Ellie shaman, so it's like I'm not rolling against this guy because Ellie shamans like roll like for like Ellie gear, right? Stuff with spell power is nothing an Ellie shaman tank would want, but like if you're deep enhanced, that having one of those is actually basically Deathbringer is deep enhance, but I don't think this guy is deep enhance. Yeah, there's lava burst, so yeah, this guy's Ellie shaman tank for sure. There's one other, so there's like 2 warriors here. What the?
Very ranged.
One of them is tank, one of them is DPS. Like, what are these guys doing? How are these guys so low on DPS? And there's another warrior. And, can rogues use axes? I feel like sword, mace, and dagger and sword. We are the lions or the mighty horde. Okay, yeah, they can't use axes. Yeah. So I'm not rolling against the rogues. It's just like the other enhance and like the other warrior. Maybe the deep, like this warrior tank might actually need a Deathbringer as well. So it's like I'm rolling against him, the other enhance, and like a warrior, it looks like. So it's like 4 of us that would want this specific axe.
If you consumies, you should be using a fire pot now in phase 2 if you need it. Shouldn't be touching an Ixia until you look at your threat meter with tiny threats on details. She's in position in phase 3.
Did you almost just misgender Onyxia?
She's a beautiful woman. We respect her.
So, you guys think this is an unboon angle here? Now that we've got our stuff straightened out?
Save it up. I'm safe. I'm not fucking booting on this. Saving them from my own corner.
I mean, I've got Dragon Slayer and everything.
Our DPS is fine. We need a transition of phase 3.
I'm gonna unbin because fuck it. I only have 2 of these, and I can literally get these just from standing in Orgrimmar, so I'm not too worried about losing some boons.
Is there any healer I should prioritize for the fear ward after the tanks?
Thunder, Tegan. During that transition, ideally only the tank should be looked at by the healer. Waiting on Tegan and lives with Mom.
That's good.
You guys are cheap asses, right? Consumes. I spent 2K on a Blackguard. Alright.
Oh my god, 2K?
Ready.
That's so much money.
That's like $20.
No, buy gold is bad. Don't look at it next. I kind of want to
look so fine. I'm putting a flame shock on her. Fuck that. I'm gonna give her a little love tap too. Give this guy alpha. Alright.
One of the other shamans could put
Wind Fairy?
Spirit on Melanius.
Oh.
I already called the Wind Fairy group.
But yeah, I already alpha'd you to Lennius.
Lot of whelps. Lot of whelps.
Earn, do those things. Or extra. You have AoE, get the whelps. I don't.
I don't actually, so I'm better on Onyxia.
Easy to clean up.
Got him.
This is the position phase 3.
Oh, look at me pump.
Without stepping on the cracks.
Ooh-wee.
You shouldn't really be hitting anything until we get here, other than the warder as the tank picks it up. Try not to get knocked back. If you stand where Sid is, you'll be good. The green guy. Range starts spreading. That first one will most likely be down the middle, as every time I've done it. Get out of the middle. We're on this warder. Melee. Get out of the middle.
Good breathing, so.
Oh my god, I'm pumping.
Make sure the warder group is in range of heal. It's in half for quite a while, almost a bit. Oh. I think I killed by that. You're out if you want to use it. Spread out. You can see who the
For real, give me my axe. Where is Zoni? I think I could get some DPS
Yeah, the
on
priest
her.
like shielded us before. It hits.
Oh man.
I killed my own pet, dude.
Warder's out.
Oh man.
Spreading. We have fire resist in every group. Melee took a big hit. Melee took a really big hit. Keep Sicko up. Melee took another big hit. Shaman play, Civic happy. Whelps left side. Until 35 she doesn't come down. Okay. Keep spread. Poison on it. We might not get a second breath. Just keep pumping it.
Where's this bitch? Oh, she's
Yeah, it
up
does
there.
not matter if you have a threat drop or even a threat mini drop. Please use it in this phase. You don't get fireball. You can all start going back to that left corner where we started too. Staying as spread as possible.
Drop it.
On to
Free
Civic.
drop tremor.
Okay. We will transition soon. We'll probably get a warder. Make sure you threat drop soon. Do not touch tremors. Do not touch.
Okay.
Don't touch the cracks. Do not touch her. Do not touch her. Do not touch her.
Tanks.
Go to where the tank spot is if you have threat. Colosseum is next.
Ad coming too, ad coming.
Oh my god.
Lost tank on
Got it.
there.
Go, go.
Reposition quickly so we don't get keep Telanius out.
Range on Ed's
Yeah.
warders.
Everyone on warders right now. Everyone hard swaps to warders.
No, I'm hard sticking.
Keep tremors up.
Onyxia.
Spear ward on the tanks as much as you can. XP ready as the pads come through. Hunter, you're gonna get move. You're gonna get hit by the tail and full weld. Water's coming. Don't get cleaved. Everyone switch to the water.
Fuck that. I am staying on Onyxia.
Tremors. Keep tremors down. Try to keep Telanius with a fear ward. Rotate him if you can. Call up.
Unfortunately, I'm dead. Can't fear ward.
If we have a res, I doubt it. Don't get knocked. Mind the tail. Keep it up. Not a race.
It is a race in my mind. I need to get
Warriors coming.
top
Be ready.
3 at least.
Don't be in front of it. Watch the cleave. Turn and burn it. Turn and burn the water. They will overwhelm us. Big heals on Telanius when that breath comes out. Tremors down. Tremors down.
Perfect
On these
tremors
orders as
on
well,
my
guys.
end. Holy shit.
Reposition quickly.
Oh my god.
Watch the tail. Back on Oni. Be another water in like 10 seconds. Keep it up. I'll tell you when to ignore them.
I'm already ignoring them.
Orders out. Get in position. Tremors.
Yes.
Watch the breath.
It's a good
Save
tremor.
the
Oh my
water over
god. Oh
here
my
so
god.
you
Okay,
can
I'll get
gear
this
kill
guy
now.
just because he's here. Okay, I'm not following him in front.
Don't get closer to the range, or we're gonna get breath. You will too. Everyone turn it. Probably the last one. Please kill it. Another one's coming. X, go get it.
X,
Go now.
give it to you. X, go
Tremors,
and give it to you.
tremors, fire protection pot. Fire
Oh yeah,
protection
yeah, yeah.
pot.
Fire protection pot. He's right.
Hold the water off to the side, burn Oni. Hold the water off to the side, burn Oni. Fire protection pops if you got him. Keep tremors down. Watch the tail. Be another water here in a second.
Easy peasy. Alright, I'm in top 3. I'm happy with myself. Please tell me Deathbringer's will drop. Fuck.
Next time we'll drop.
What, Deathbringer?
No, the thing I harder to.
Is the... what you call it? The head reserved?
Nope.
Okay, maybe we're still in the game here. I could get a tank fucking
that's
necklace
one.
here. Alright, let's rebuff. Or reboon.
Well, I guess the backpacks did that weird thing again. People looted them.
Oh. Multiple backpacks? What?
Yeah, for some, I guess the loot threshold lets people loot them. I could have picked one up, but I canceled it. It was.
Alright, Zizos and Sid, roll.
Fuck. Mine is still tradable, so we can roll on it.
Wait.
It says it's still tradable.
Zizos.
Wait.
Yeah, we can roll.
You guys tied. I just noticed you guys
Scale
tied.
bindings. Oh shit. One of mine. That's a... what did I roll? I rolled a 44. Lux Gray rolled a 91. Okay, I lose.
What is this roll for?
Multi-scale binding.
Under Shaman Razors.
I'm just happy I killed this for once. All the other pugs I've been in were like trash.
You got it? Gonna go to Lux Ray.
Dude, we got a Noni Skinner?
Well, no, you guys can roll. Put your bag up, burrito, for a roll.
Oh, okay. Do you want to ping it? And then just press
Just
it?
link it. Just link it.
Oh, just link it, okay.
Alright, see if I can win the head of a Nick. This would be an off-spec roll here.
6?
4 defense plus
Yeah, I
10
won't do
fire
this
resist.
So it's
get shit.
place.
Yeah.
Lives
They're
with
20s.
mom.
These lives was 99s.
Oh, okay. Hold.
Wait, what are we rolling on? Oh, the
Holding.
Oh, so they just each get one?
roll. Wait.
You get 2, right?
Oh, 14. Never mind. For
Yeah, we
the
got
Anixia hide
So
backpack.
burrito, give yours to Flays. Whoever else got the other one, give it to Lives with Mom.
I think
Hey,
it's
thanks
luck.
for the subscription. Normally the animation comes up like a minute long, and I don't have my OBS, and like that sound effect happens like a minute later, just to
Good luck,
notify me. Thanks for the follow.
Good luck.
Subscribe.
Okay. Anyone fucking wants it, worthless.
I would grab a beer, but I don't want to miss the loot here.
Use those to get up.
Head of Nixia would be good.
Airpen. Fire resist too.
Quickly grab a beer while this is rolled out.
Oh. The Knight of Double Roll.
What the fuck? Dude, I rolled over a 40? No way, dude.
Close it in 5. Come on, Thunder. Come on, Thunder. Doug Funny.
Oh my god, dude. I'm playing my Shadow Priest, dude. I'm not playing this guy anymore.
I don't get shit either.
The fucking rolls.
Get all your shit.
99 for off spec roll. I could use that for like fire res, I guess, for tank.
The tanks might want it for their fire res.
All right, no, yeah. If you guys want that, then yeah, I'm not gonna roll against tanks.
That's all exactly. 10 fire resist.
Alright, going to Clown.
I didn't think they would want it. Other times I've gotten that ring on like my arrow shaman tank.
I'll take the head. What's that? Yeah, it's got it.
All right, head of Anixia. Let's see. Okay, not head of Anixia yet. That's the hunter item.
Going to Deidre.
Thank you. Helps that I'm on the quest.
Oh yeah.
I can skin if I've got what you call it, the enchant. If someone is an enchanter and never mind, Sneako.
Alright, Sicko Wolf Skinner after.
I've got the
now the big one.
Pips blade thing, but I need an enchant. Out of Anixia. Oh, 97. 99! Let me just roll a 1 hundo real quick. No, 75 from me. Fuck.
What I get?
Golf rolls 3 wins.
Hold on. Wait, I gotta get to Org now real quick for like a full rebuff of Anixia's head, actually.
Last chance. Anyone else?
This guy's obviously gonna turn it in like the next minute or so. He leaves the red, so
Orgy port, please. I'm gonna double check it was mad.
I'm gonna unboon and take off my world buffs just to get like fuller buffs, because I know Ren drops often, and I'm in a raid here where Oni head.
That'd be cool.
So you know,
yeah,
someone's gonna the guy that wins this, the 99 roll guy, is gonna turn it in.
Right coming, guys. Our MC group raids Tuesdays at 6:30 server. Looking for more.
And I would feel spoke French.
Alright, I'm
Me gusta
leaving.
la... Oh wait, shit, that's Spanish.
And where's my... Okay, unbin, I'm gonna unbin my shit and rebin with like
anyway,
full
I can
buffs.
get the summon. I got like... Can you order more? Oh no, it's good, it's good.
Alright. First Oni finally cleared like a week after it's out. Funny, I didn't get it early day one. I was trying to get it day one, but yeah, that didn't work out. I thought I was streaming, but my stream settings were put on private, so like I could unprivate that stream, but it was like a demonic shit show, so yeah, I just kept it private. we got like 2 polls in and everyone like turned on me. I was like, okay. It was like all my ex-guildies too, like from Bloodlust. I ended up inviting like half the raid was like ex-guildies basically. Even the guild master, where I was like, I'll invite him if he takes me off ignore. I just want to make this happen. Alright, I'm just waiting. I don't really need to be streaming this. I'm just really gonna probably call it, like, maybe Gold Farm. I don't know. Maybe there's a couple of dungeons I could do, but I feel like I should take just like a half an hour break. We've been streaming 3.5 hours. Like, if I'm gonna stream again, I'll definitely be streaming it again, like, maybe half an hour or so if I feel like it, and I find some dungeons to like test this elemental shaman build. The elemental shaman tank build, actually, I should say. Yeah, I'm gonna take a minor break here. Yeah,